Familiar Wilson's Media. Relationships are the story.
You are made of meat, my friend, all the way down.
The following podcast uses words like and also. If you're not into any of that shit, then now's your chance.
3, 2, 1.
Run.
Super familiar with Wilsons. Get it!
Welcome to Super Familiar with the Wilsons. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Josh. Amanda, I have got such news for you.
Oh, okay. Does it involve a Coldplay concert?
No, we can briefly touch on that in a few minutes.
Well, that seems to be all the news, so I just thought that was the news.
It is, but it's almost, I think, run its course. Because this is the news cycle now. It's like 15 seconds literally, and then boom, we're on to the next thing.
Yes.
Someone had commented, I don't remember who it was, but it was in a conversation that I was having through text. And they said, imagine how many Halloween costumes couples are going to have this year that refer to that, like trying to be cute. And my point was, that'll be so forgotten by then.
By a handful of people will still remember, probably those who are directly involved, but I don't think they'll be dressing up like that for Halloween.
Well, it's funny because I was going to do a segment about this whole thing, as I guess all content creators have decided, ooh, this topic is going to be so hot and trending. Then I got online and everyone has a take on it. So boring. Here's my only take on it, right? Because I was trying to think of what could possibly happen as a result of this. Like, what are the consequences of this? I think it's possible that this is going to turn into a new way, a new power move, how to resign.
Okay, fair enough.
Romantic resignation.
Frolicking at a concert? Or you just mean like maybe sending an email accidentally to the wrong person? Or like, what do you mean?
I don't know. You can do it as an email auto reply.
Okay. Well, I have to set mine up because I'm going out of town for work this week, so I'll be mindful.
All right, so then type this down. I am currently unavailable as I'm dramatically throwing away my corporate career for passion and love.
Okay.
For urgent matters, please contact for my replacement. Or like your new LinkedIn status.
Oh, yes.
Change it from Senior VP of Operations to unemployed but deeply in love.
That's right.
So that's my unique Wilson's take on this whole thing, is that this is going to spawn a movement, because everything spawns a movement until something better comes along. But that's not what I wanted to tell you. That's not the thing that I learned.
That's not the news. I'm sorry.
Do you remember Balloon Boy?
No.
You don't remember Balloon Boy?
No, I remember Bubble Boy, who was in a bubble and like a giant hamster wheel thing. He wasn't really in a giant hamster wheel, but...
No. Balloon Boy, it's a hoax, right? That occurred in October 2009. You remember this?
He floated away or something?
So a homemade helium-filled gas balloon shaped to resemble a silver flying saucer was released into the atmosphere above Fort Collins, Colorado by the Heen family. They then claimed that their 6-year-old son, Falcon, was trapped inside of it. Do you remember this?
I do remember this now.
The authorities spent all this money, National Guard helicopters, all the police pursuing this balloon. It flew for more than an hour and went about 50 miles, right? And it landed, and Falcon was not found inside.
Had Falcon disintegrated within the helium?
Well, it was reported that an object had been seen falling from the balloon, and then they searched. But later, the boy was found hiding in the attic of his home, where he had apparently been the entire time.
How much I hope these people had to pay for all of the first responders and all of the money that was spent looking for this child who was just upstairs.
Suspicions of a hoax arose, particularly after an interview on Larry King Live that same evening. When asked why he was hiding, Falcon said to his father, "You guys said that we did this for the show."
What show?
Right. Well, they didn't say that. So anyway, they concluded that it was a hoax. The parents served a few days in jail, and then there you go. Right? Now they always maintain their innocence.
They say he was in the balloon and he fell.
No, they say that he hid, and they didn't know that he was hiding.
So they didn't check the balloon before they released it into the air.
Dude, what's happening right now? I'm just telling you, I can't speak to what they did. Not the point of any of this. You remember the incident, and
Yes.
It was a big deal for a while. I found out on the In-Law and the Outlawed podcast, which
Yes.
is a Familiar Wilson's Media podcast done by Chicken Tom
Yes.
and his son-in-law. They live right down the street from Chicken Tom.
No, they don't. Those people live here?
They moved and they live here now. How
That's
about that?
crazy.
How about that? That's like celebrities. We should get them on the show.
Balloon Boy's like 15 now.
No, I think
16.
I think
No. That was 16 years ago.
Yeah. He's older than all that now. So what Chicken Tom says is that he thinks Balloon Boy works in get this, selling tiny houses. And so I asked him, are they round and filled with gas?
Right. Or is it like the Up House?
The what?
That's the
Up
house
yeah.
from Up. That's how he can combine his two loves.
Yeah, I don't
Balloons
know.
and tiny houses.
I don't know, but isn't that something?
That's crazy. So does Balloon Boy live here with his parents or just by himself?
I've given you all the information
And
that I
he's
have.
still in the attic.
I don't. Well, no, he's selling tiny houses. Keep up. Have you ever lived near someone famous or found out that you live near someone famous?
I mean, John Travolta doesn't live too far from us, but not like
He
a couple
lives
streets away or something.
Freaking half an hour to 45 minutes away. So the answer is no. That's super interesting, though. It's interesting because Jeff sent us his Refined Gay Jeff thoughts, and we'll read a little bit of that. But one of his things that he writes in there is that he encountered Yao Ming last week or the week before in Houston. Yao Ming, the 7'6" Chinese NBA player, a former NBA player, which I think is super interesting. But to find out like this famous person lives down the road, especially if it's like a famous person for like a slightly offbeat thing, very interesting. Like, what do you do if like Balloon Boy's parents come over and ask for like butter or something?
Wait, wasn't the guy who had like the Christian World Center, wasn't he in this town?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bob Jones or Jim Jones had the Kool-Aid. I don't remember who.
Yeah,
one of the
no,
cult leaders. Terry Jones.
Yeah, so he was the one who threatened to destroy or burn the Korans.
Yes.
Way back, gosh, it's like 10, 15 years, 20 years ago? How long ago was that?
I mean, it was like 2010, I think.
Anyway, he lived in Gainesville, and I think he was last seen in, was it Tampa or some other Florida town, running a chicken place out of a mall food court.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Excellent.
So anyway, have you ever lived near a celebrity, especially a celebrity for a weird reason? Let us know at familiarwilsons@gmail.com. Also, go ahead and listen to the In-Law and the Outlaw podcast. That's a Familiar Wilsons media joint, and you can get that on your streaming apps.
Pocket watch, taking, constricting coat and vest, marking.
I
moments,
invented a
marking
couple words this week.
Oh, okay.
The combination of heat and humidity outside in this state.
Oh my God.
What is that
It's
called?
the worst.
I have a word.
It's
for that.
called the seventh layer of hell or the surface of the sun. I don't know what it's called, but it's awful.
Yeah, no, we are experiencing that right now. We were just in St. Petersburg, Florida, which was lovely. But it was so hot as we were walking around outside that I had to take off my wedding ring because it was too hot. And I don't mean that it was too hot and it was burning me. It just felt like, my God, I got to get all the things off. And I could not take off all of my clothes.
Thank you for not taking your clothes off at the farmer's market.
That wasn't an option. So I took off my wedding ring and I actually felt cooler.
I constantly had sweat like dripping from places, like down my back, like just rolling down my back constantly. It was so bad. And yesterday we were out and our heat index, so that's like not the actual temperature, but what it feels, and that's what matters. Until 7 o'clock last night was 111 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, that's just not okay.
This is what I call that, though, that mixture of moisture in the air with heat.
Yes.
It's Floridamp.
That's a very good one because it is Floridamp. That's actually
Floridamp.
very, very good. I'm very proud of you.
Okay, the other word that I created is that migraine that's brought about by decorating.
Okay.
There's this particular pain that you get as you're trying to decide, will this match? Will that match? You go to Pinterest and you look at the pictures and you're like, oh shit, that's awesome. I'm going to have that in my house. Your house is never going to look like that picture.
No.
In fact, that house in the picture does not look like
that. No. Right.
No. It's impossible. And then, if you were starting from scratch and you had all the money in the world, maybe you can. But invariably, you have like grandma's vase that you can't get rid of, and that's going to screw up your picture perfect Pinterest picture there because you got like the vase with the ashes in it. Or whatever.
That's because grandma's in it? Okay.
Yeah. So that's called an aesthetic.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Yes, good.
So those are your two words, your two Wilson coin words that you can fold into your vocab.
Aesthetic.
Aesthetic and Floridamp. The more you know.
Keeping time till kingdom come. Every heartbeat, every backbeat, every breath we draw.
Dear listener, as you may be able to suss out from my voice, I am sick.
You're on the other side of sick.
I am on the other side of sick. All I know is that I was doing fine, doing great, hadn't been sick in a while. And I go to the gym
You did. I
for
forgot.
the first time in like literally years.
I forgot you went to the gym last week.
The next day I'm sick.
Because I was sick, so I totally forgot that's what you did. Oh, you're right. That's funny.
So I think I've learned a very valuable lesson.
You shouldn't go to the gym.
Don't go to the gym. Don't work out. Don't quote unquote get healthy because it's just going to screw me. Maybe my body now is allergic to that because it's been so very long. I rode a bike like 3 blocks yesterday.
Yes.
I have not recovered. I'm probably going to get sick again.
Are you sore?
My legs hurt. My knees hurt. My ankles hurt. My neck hurts. My ear hurts. I don't understand.
Your neck hurts from riding the bike?
Well, my neck hurts, and I'm blaming riding the bike because that's the only unusual thing that happened. So I'm just saying that perhaps the gym and we got to break up because we're not good for each other.
All right. Well,
at work, someone suggested that it would be a funny podcast bit to have you impersonate me when I'm sick, when I'm ill. Because, you know, the whole cliche is that men can't handle being sick, and yet women regularly pop things the size of bowling balls out of their vagina.
and then still go back to work. But no, this wouldn't work with you because you don't do that. You texted me and said, must have been when you were having this conversation, you said, am I stereotypically like whiny when I'm sick?
It was.
And
yeah.
then I didn't answer because I was in a meeting, and then you wrote, it's okay if it's yes. And I was like, and I still didn't respond. And then it was hello with all these question marks. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm in a meeting. But no, you don't. You are the opposite of that. You don't want help. You don't whine, but it's almost worse. I can't decide which I would want more because it's so frustrating because then you don't accept help. Like if I say, go lay down, no, and then you stand around like you're a martyr, and then you
Okay, so wait a second now. Okay, here it is. There it is. Like you're characterizing, like I say, no, I'll be all right. I'll be okay. And then I'm a martyr nailing myself up on a cross. So you are saying that I handle it badly.
No, you're not like, I can't stand up, I'm sick, I have a sneeze. No, you're like, I'm fine, I'm okay, I can be here. It's not fair. You do this a lot. It's not fair. When I say go, it's not fair if I don't help. No, it's okay. Please go lay down. Because if I lay down, I'm like, if I'm not feeling well, I'm check out, right? And
that's not true.
Okay.
That's not true.
Well, I want to check out.
Yeah, but you don't. You fight through it and you do the things that need to be done.
I was talking to somebody the other day who was also going through perimenopause, and she and I were talking about how, like, maybe like an appendectomy at this point wouldn't be bad. Like a week-long stay in the hospital for nothing like really bad. I was like, it's bad when you're like, just minor surgery would be okay with me right now because then I could just like disassociate from everything for a little bit. But no, but you don't even want medicine. I'll be like, let me get you some Mucinex. No. Let me get you this. No. I don't want to become reliant on medicine. It's not like you take it daily. It's when you're sick. So if I forced a shot of NyQuil down you the other day because I had spent 2 nights sleeping in Muffy's bed because your snoring was so loud because of all the congestion that I forced a shot of NyQuil on you, and you and I both slept. And you woke up the next morning and you were like, I feel a little better. I'm like, yeah, because you slept.
Well, I have 2 things about that. Yes, it was helpful to do, but then also I didn't before know that liquid NyQuil could be used as a suppository. So also thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Moving on from that, I have a new idea for a podcast segment, right? We talked before about doing reviews and how review podcasts do really well, like movie reviews and restaurant reviews and this and that. I think that I enjoy the idea of doing a restaurant review, which we've kind of done bits like that before. But going in and rating restaurants based on how the food tastes, that's boring.
Yes. Okay.
So an idea, we either do restaurant reviews based on, number 1, the decor.
Okay.
Just go in and rate the decor of the restaurant. Nothing else.
Okay.
Not the food, not anything else. Or on the friendliness.
Okay.
Now, I think that idea has legs.
Yeah.
The idea of rating restaurants on friendliness.
Do you have a particular restaurant experience in mind while you're thinking about this?
I do. We went to an Italian restaurant when we were in St. Pete. A very expensive Italian restaurant.
I wasn't an Italian restaurant, so I was confused.
It was so Italian. It was so freaking Italian, that place.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
I was thinking, let's do a review of that, but that's boring because we go in and the food was very expensive. It was good food.
Mine was fabulous.
Right. But like, that's boring. It's like, of
Yeah.
course, that's what your expectation is. You go into a really expensive restaurant, the food should at least at a baseline be fine or
Yeah.
be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mine was okay, nothing special. I made the mistake of ordering scallops.
But you got like 3.
Yeah, I got screwed. But it was good. It
Yeah.
was just like I got screwed. But as far as the friendliness is concerned, did you find that place pretty friendly, the service?
I thought it was.
Yeah. I think that as we rate places for friendly, we need to adjust it also, the rating, based on price and setting.
Okay.
So if we had gone into that Italian restaurant with no other factors and rated it on friendliness and hospitality, it would have been a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
But we adjust it for price and setting, it was at best 2.5 out of 5.
Oh, I thought the setting was beautiful. It was by the water.
Yeah, but like, again, with how much this bill ended up being.
Okay, but you need to concede because I was going to pay for dinner, you paid for dinner, and then you've done nothing but complain about how much this dinner was. A good portion of that was alcohol because you and I had 2 drinks each, which I think I wound up only drinking a half of each of one of those, and then you wound up drinking them. So, I drove, friends, by the way. Almost a third of that bill was alcohol, was 4 drinks.
Okay.
So I can't say the food was like super, because my food was like $20-something for a really lovely mushroom pasta, right? Muffy got a salad that was like $15. The 8-year-old, whatever his name is, Winthrop, got a cheeseburger that was $12. The rest of that was scallops and alcohol.
Okay, but still, it's part of the price. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't deny, I'm going to go out in a restaurant, I'm going to get alcohol. It's just a
Yeah.
fun thing to do.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying that for what we paid, I want them to rub my feet. I want them to bring out a hot towel like mid-meal as I've got like the eating sweats. And
Like they do on airplanes when you're in first class.
Absolutely. Now, let's take the opposite approach. The hotel that we stayed in, right, and I'm not going to name it
Yeah.
or whatever, they had a hotel bar. I woke up early one morning. I went down. I had an egg burrito, and I got you coffee that you ended up coming down later. It was 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't great. It was good. It's not great. But adjusted for the setting and for the fact that the lady behind the thing was relatively friendly and she actually brought my food to my table, 4.5 out of 5.
Okay. I'm glad you had that experience because I had to go to the front desk to get somebody to give me coffee the other day because nobody was working there.
Okay, so then that
Mine
would,
was like a 1 out of 5.
well,
But my coffee was good, so that was a 3 out of 5.
See, there you go. But this will be the basis of our new restaurant
Okay.
reviews. Like based
right.
on hospitality and friendliness alone, we take all the other stuff into account, but we don't rate that. We don't rate the food.
All right. I am on board with this. So we are about to go to Savannah.
Yes.
We will have plenty of opportunity. And Savannah, supposed to just be the city of Southern hospitality. The nickname is the hostess city. So let's see if they do it right.
Yeah, but again, if they charge more, then my expectation is going to be a whole hell of a lot more than wandering into the Burger King. Listen, at Burger King, if they acknowledge my presence and get the order right, 5 out of 5.
All right, let's just don't order any scallops in Savannah because it's on a river. River scallops, don't need it. We were at least on the bay when we were in St. Pete.
There, done. So, Amanda,
Yes.
this whole thing that happened with the CEO at the Coldplay concert, not the first time something like this has happened.
Really?
Not exactly like this, but check this out. In 2013, a woman in Russia discovered her boyfriend was cheating when she saw a photo of him with another woman while searching an address using Yandex Maps, which is the Russian equivalent of Street View.
So Google Maps just happened to catch this guy with a girl and take a picture of it. And then she happened to be looking for an address and saw a picture of him. And what were they doing outside that clearly he was cheating?
I mean, they must have been locked in an embrace, but can you imagine that? Now, again, it's like the Russian equivalent. I know on Street View now they blur the faces because they don't have permission to show people, although they're in a public place. So you shouldn't have presumption of privacy when you're in a public place. That's why newspapers can take a picture of an event that's happening in a public place and they don't need to get everyone's permission. But isn't that just a kick in the teeth right there, though? Because that's not just even a one-time, like that's up forever unless they sue to remove that. That is something, though. You got to think at that point, like the universe just wants you.
No, that's karma.
No, yeah, that is karma hard.
Because that like the percentage probability, whatever math I can't do of that is so like 1 in millions that it has to be karma.
It has to be. So there you go. So this executive guy, I mean, sorry it happened to you, but come on. You're at a public place, you're at a concert, everyone has a phone.
Yeah.
Everyone has a phone. You show up on the big screen. At that point, you're like, well, this isn't going to work. One of the things that people have been saying and that I said when I saw it was, if they hadn't reacted, no one would find out. But that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true because what would have happened is they were on this screen. They're in their hometown, I assume.
They weren't. They were in Boston.
Oh, they weren't in their hometown?
I think from New York.
Okay. But still.
Right.
They're on this screen. At some point, someone would have recognized these people. Also, he's a public figure. He's kind of well known, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll never.
I mean, in that
him.
sphere, I don't. Yeah.
I just think that it would have come out no matter what, even if they would have played it off. Now, worst possible thing you could have done. I mean, where did he go? He just disappeared.
I don't know. That's such a good question.
This comic impression in my mind of him crawling around on all fours amidst the peanuts and the popcorn, just trying to get away. But, the interesting thing is that we've not seen any video from the other direction.
Other angle, yeah.
Like them from someone on the row when they realize what's going on, very quickly just whipping up their phone. And that's what I want to see. I want to see where he went. I want to see what he did and where he went.
So there's so many memes, but my favorite that I've seen is the Philadelphia Phillies mascots. These goofy. What are they? They're like big green blobs. I don't even know what they are, but it's the girl version and the guy version, and they're recreating this at a Phillies game. But when the camera pans, he just drops, and it's so funny to watch this big blobby mascot just dropped to the ground. And so you assume he's just laying there in a heap. But is that what the guy did? I don't know.
I don't think that he can be hired now. And I say that not because of the incident itself, because, unfortunately people cheat all the time and they get caught all the time and it's public all the time. Mm-hmm. It's for what he did after. Like, we're looking for a leader of our company, but not the guy when faced with difficult times drops to the floor and cockroaches his way away from.
I mean, that is like some toddler level stuff right there, right? Like just throwing yourself on the ground. I can't deal with it anymore.
What if? You say that? What if he threw himself on the ground, just started crying?
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. And that's what he would do in a boardroom.
Arms and legs in the air. That'd be amazing. You're on a Zoom with him, like a very tense Zoom. All of a sudden he goes down.
He's just gone. I think the thing that I find the most annoying about this, because I was not personally it's really none of my business. It has nothing to do with me. I feel for their partners and their families and their children. Sure. The thing that I am the most hung up on is the name of the company is Astronomer. That does not tell me what you do. Astronomer is a job description. Astronomer is a career. It is a profession. What is his wealth management company or whatever it is just called Astronomer? That's not a name for your company. I thought he was an astronomer. When people kept saying astronomer CEO, I thought it was like businessman CEO. He was an astronomer CEO. I'm more annoyed about the name of his company right now.
Yeah, there we go. And that explains my wife's mindset, ladies and gentlemen.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We used to do a segment called "What Did I Learn This Week?" You remember that?
I do, and I don't think I learned anything this week. Did you learn something this week?
I did.
What'd you learn?
I did learn. Okay. You heard this idea of a nuclear family?
Yes.
Do you know where it comes from or what it means?
I mean, it's talking about the idea of not just mother, father, children living in the home, but a larger, more extended family living in the home.
No.
I thought that's what that was.
No.
Well, then clearly I need to learn something this week. What is it?
In most of the world, extended families were and are the norm, right? Especially in pre-industrial societies, way back through history.
Right.
So households included grandparents, aunts and uncles, cousins, everyone contributed to like the farming or the caregiving.
Yeah.
They lived in big clumps. You couldn't travel and move to another city necessarily so easily, so everyone tended to stay together, right? And that's the norm for hundreds upon thousands of years. Yeah. The idea is that families function not as just emotional units, but as caregiving units, as economic units.
Yeah, sure.
Like to survive. Yeah. And it worked. It worked a storm. It was great. It was fine. Industrial revolution comes along, and people started to move to cities for factory jobs, right? So you had smaller, more mobile families. And so the idea of like smaller two-parent households gained traction in like these urban settings particularly. And that's the direction that it went. Post-World War II America. This is when the nuclear family truly became idealized, especially in the United States. Not only did you have the economic impetus for people to move to cities, to get jobs, and to support themselves, but also you had this idea in TV, advertising, politics, pushing the opposite of communist collectivism, the opposite of socialism, which was what they termed as this basic building block, this strong foundation of
the nucleus
of society, which is this quote unquote nuclear family. This is new. Again, I'm talking about 1945-ish.
I had that really wrong in my head though.
But this is a new invention, this idea of nuclear family. And I think that it really contributed and contributes to the breakdown of society.
Yeah.
You know, this whole idea of American individualism, you know, we can go it on our own. We don't need other people. You know, as long as we have this little perfect family, we're okay. Now, what we do as Americans, or what we have done, we have pushed this idea out beyond the United States, and globally now they've been affected with the idea of, like the nuclear family. And it's falsely seen as a universal tradition or as traditional values when it's not. It's relatively new.
I had no idea. I thought it meant extended family, all living in one place.
No. I think it's interesting that they call it nuclear family because when something bad happens in a nuclear plant, you know, you see what you get.
The fallout is wide.
Yeah. So that's what I learned this week.
That's cool. Thank you for sharing that.
And it really kind of gave me a perspective, or made me re-examine like how our family is. We don't have a nuclear family. Well, we kind of do and kind of don't, because we have kids from our first marriages, and now we have this little being from this marriage. That's not what I would call a traditional nuclear family.
Yeah. We have a lot of like chosen family too, though, because you and I don't have very many relatives left, really. So it's more the idea of the people that we choose to surround ourselves with.
It's interesting because the idea of chosen family, I resisted for the longest time.
Why?
Because I came from like a single mother.
Yeah.
Right. She couldn't take care of me.
Yeah.
And so I was adopted by a single man who happened to be very good friends with my mother's family. And so in that way, he chose me.
Yes.
But also very miserable person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was provided for physically by and large, but emotionally, my childhood and early adulthood was a fucking train wreck.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now, I can appreciate the benefits that I got from him adopting me, but also, like, I needed to have a family, and I did not have a family.
Yeah.
So it took me a long time when I heard this idea of chosen family to really embrace the good parts of what that means.
I guess in my head, I would think it would be more like he chose you, and that wasn't, you have this very dichotomous relationship because you recognize that he, you know, physically provided for you, but not emotionally or psychologically. But then therefore you choosing family would be you having control over that and who you choose.
Yeah, but we're all a product of our upbringing, and I know that living with me ain't the easiest,
Hush, I
pumpkin
love you.
pie. No, but it's true. Like I carry baggage, so
We all have it.
we do.
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
All right, so we're talking about nuclear families, we're talking about extended families, we're talking about chosen family, but really the center of all of that, right, is the relationship of whatever people have started this family. One thing that we used to do a long time ago that we've not done in a while, if you notice, that was the Game Time music by AJCW. It's 4 letters that I never get right, so that was that pause, that was that dramatic pause. I have to do his full name in my head before I can do it. AJCW, is that right?
Yes.
Or is it AJWC?
You had it, man. You had it.
I don't know. Anyway.
That's our son Andrew who does music. You should check him out by searching AJCW on your music streaming apps of choice.
Yes. So one thing we used to do a while ago, and I loved it with my whole heart, and you hated it with your whole heart, is that I used to torment you with BuzzFeed quizzes.
Oh, shit.
And we have not done this in a while.
Yeah.
Like I got real serious with my, flashbacks. Some people were learning things. No, the BuzzFeed is back. And since we're talking about how families get started or how they continue, this BuzzFeed quiz I have for you is, can we guess your relationship status based on the grocery shopping you do? So people,
No, this is not necessary to guess my. What is
so
no?
people have been concerned about the state of 2.0
of our 2.0 marriage, our second marriage.
They are worried that I am like leaving you because I'm grumpy all the time. So this is a way for us to assure the listeners that we are okay as long as you get your grocery list right.
This is a trap. This is a trap. You're trapping me. And go ahead. But you have to promise not to be upset with any of the answers it comes up with, because BuzzFeed don't know shit about me. Okay.
Okay. All right. Pick some ice cream: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
Neapolitan is my favorite.
I can't pick all 3 of these, Joker.
All right, strawberry then.
All right. So you pick strawberry ice cream. Now pick some pizza to eat: pepperoni, cheese, or supreme.
Pepperoni.
Okay. This is what you're buying in the store. Pick some bread: cinnamon raisin bread, wheat bread, white bread.
Those are my choices?
Yeah, friend.
No,
you get 3.
Papadums, please.
Okay, Papadums not here. Papadums are bread, not here. Pick one.
Wheat.
Okay. Choose a type of pasta: spaghetti, fettuccine, or pasta salad.
Fettuccine. That's easy. Love me some fettuccine. Linguine, though, is I love that better. You know what I hate? I hate bow ties, and I hate the spiral ones.
Rotini?
Rotini. Don't like them. I don't know why. I don't feel like they deliver the...
They don't get the sauce
as a
enough.
medium, they don't deliver as well to me as I want.
Okay. Choose your favorite
Damn
cereal.
it, I was hoping to totally redirect you there.
No. Choose your favorite cereal: Honey Nut Cheerios, Special K Red Berries, or Cocoa Pebbles.
No, none of them. I
Okay,
like
but you
Cinnamon
have to
Toast
choose
Crunch.
from the only place. This is the grocery store you go to. Only has 3 choices for everything.
All right, whatever the first one was.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Okay. Choose a type of shellfish: lobster, shrimp, oysters. I don't like shellfish.
Lobster.
Pick a vegetable: broccoli, sweet potato, or eggplant.
Oh, God. Well, everyone's going to pick broccoli out of that, yeah?
I don't know. Choose a type of rice: brown rice. I don't like rice. White rice.
Brown.
Choose a fruit: avocado, grapes, banana.
Avocado.
It's only one banana, but multiple grapes. Okay. Ready?
Yeah, sure. And whatever this says, I guess this is what we got to do.
BuzzFeed says, according to your grocery picks, you are single.
Oh, fuck off.
All right. So, friends, if you were worried about the state of our relationship, you might have had a reason to, because BuzzFeed has spoken and we must listen.
Here's the thing. I think that I do shop as if I'm single because no one in this house wants to eat the same thing.
No, it's really frustrating.
Yeah, but no. You don't want to eat the same thing that I eat.
I know.
And you don't want to eat at dinner anymore. That's the breakdown of the nuclear family right here is we're supposed to all be sharing a table, right? At mealtime is sharing our day and just getting to know each other just a little bit more and providing support and love. And frickin' no one will eat at the table or near the table. I'll eat...
You pace in the kitchen when you eat.
Right, because no one wants to sit at...
Lies, you're telling lies. This is why you're single. You lie. No, you stand in the kitchen and eat because you don't want us to get on to you about whatever's falling into your beard or whatever.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, but no one wants to eat the same thing either. It's like Winthrop only has a selection of 4 things he will eat. If 4, and maybe it's 2, I don't know. And then Muffy is a vegetarian, which good on Muffy.
With Trina and sesame allergies.
With
so it
allergies,
makes it really hard.
Yeah. And then you never want to eat dinner anymore because you eat lunch and therefore you don't want to eat dinner, which I applaud, again, the intermittent fasting and all this and that. But can we adjust it somehow so that we all eat the same thing at the same table?
Well, so the issue is that out of 6 people in the family, we've always had some version of dietary restrictions, choices, and or food allergies. You have food allergies. She has food allergies. Daniel, our oldest, was gluten-free vegetarian for a while. Andrew, me, and Winthrop will try anything. And then you and Muffy have. You don't like vegetables, clearly based on how you didn't want to choose any of them from the grocery store. And there are a lot of things she cannot eat because, sesame's in so much now. So I've always amended just a food for her based on her food allergies. But then I think back to my mom made dinner and this is what dinner was.
Yep.
And
same.
you ate it or you didn't eat it, but this is what dinner was.
Same.
I have created this with him because I'm constantly, thinking what's she going to have because it's typically different if we're having a protein or, there's something that she can't eat in it. But now you're right. He will eat grilled cheese. He will eat a veggie burger. He will occasionally eat a nugget. But that's it. And so I don't know. Do we just pivot and be like, hey, this is what we're eating. You can eat or not. Is he too old to do this?
No, of course he's not too old to do this. People go on new diets and new ways to eat all the time. It's never too late.
All right. Well, let's start it this fall.
And then we also eat at the table or
Yes.
near the table at the same time?
Near the table. You can stand near the table.
And then you'll eat too at dinner time?
Yes.
Ooh, very good. Love that.
Maybe you don't have to be single anymore.
Yes.
Email.
That sound tells us it's time for our emails. We have a couple of emails this week. First of all, Mark Plant got in touch, and we talked a little bit about people drinking during work hours last week.
Yes.
He says this. Back in the early 2000s, we had a rule in the call center where we were allowed an alcoholic drink with a meal at lunch. So
Okay.
They had
One.
to have a rule about it, number 1, so that's interesting. He said, when England played Argentina in the 2002 World Cup, I managed 5 pints in my hour. Oh, and a sandwich.
Oh my God. Did you go back to work and answer any of the questions?
I feel like he did, and maybe he did a better job.
Maybe.
But an alcoholic meal with a drink, does that mean he had a 5-pint bucket that he was drinking from? Because I think that's the way you get around that.
Right. You just have a bigger container.
One receptacle, or you just drink directly from the tap.
From the tap. Okay, fair.
Yeah, where's Mark? Oh, he's off doing keg stands in the cafeteria. Refined Gay Jeff got in touch, and he had some feedback on a couple of things that we talked about, and we always love that. A couple of episodes ago, we talked about how I had given up coffee, so he says that he drinks only decaffeinated coffee and tea because he discovered many years ago that caffeine affects his system in a way that's not at all pleasurable. His heart races uncontrollably. He starts to perspire, and it gives him a feeling that he does not enjoy at all.
Yeah, no, that does not sound good.
Yeah, so he only drinks decaf coffee at home and tea, and then he laments the price of tea going out. Like he's saying, it's just water with some brewed tea leaves, but why is that $4?
Yeah, I know, right? It is.
Everything's expensive now. I think that's the point. He does mention this idea. We're talking about teaching Winthrop and Muffy how to ride a bike.
Yes.
He says that one of his earliest memories is learning how to ride a bike. His dad pushing him on the driveway while everyone basically crossed their fingers for success. And success did come. I think I remember mastering it pretty quickly. I was maybe late 4, early 5 years old, possibly. Anyway, that's a happy core memory that he has. He says that swimming also was very easy. And
nice.
we have determined that you don't teach your kids how to ride a bike.
Nope.
They just learn how to ride a bike.
Yep. We had no teaching. No
Yeah,
teaching was involved.
You can't teach someone how to balance, right? Now, Winthrop and Muffy picked it up really quickly, but let's just take the myth out of it, because I was really stressed. Like, oh, how am I going to teach them? Yeah. No, they just learn.
Yep. I mean, and they are champion bikers now. So
Okay,
it was what?
Let's not go to.
Okay, well, but I was amazed watching him last night, and then I remembered. Do you remember when he was 3 and we got him his first scooter?
Yeah.
And we lived in a street that had a cul-de-sac, and he would just whip around that cul-de-sac so fast. And you and I were talking about how like nerve-wracking it was.
Yep.
Now that he can ride, he's going fast. Like, we kept telling him to stay behind Muffy, and he was just like on her heels and waiting to pass her. Like, I think this kid has a need for speed.
Why couldn't we have just had a little sloth come out?
Well, I mean, he can be a sloth when it's time to take a shower.
Yeah, that's true. Jeff continues. He talks about how he had some celebrity sightings this past week.
Yao
So
Ming.
talked about Yao Ming a little bit. He says he doesn't have photographic proof that happened, but he was I had to run to DXL, he said. If you're
Don't even know what that is.
Okay,
What
but
is
it's a
that?
big boy store.
Okay.
As I entered the store, turned the corner while walking to where the shorts are, and practically ran into someone I've been waiting to at least see in person since I moved to Houston 24 years ago, Yao Ming. Absolutely could not believe my eyes, all 7'6" of him. All? You saw all of him, Jeff? Was he in the changing room? I never made it to a Houston Rockets game when he played here, and just thought that I would never realize that dream of seeing him. Not only did I see him today, I also spoke with him. I rarely get nervous or bashful when I do meet famous people, and I've met a few, but I was absolutely awestruck today. I was just humbled seeing and talking to one of the tallest people currently on the planet right now.
Wow.
He also says that Yao Ming's wife, 6'3".
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I guess she would have to be, yes.
I mean, if you want to have kids, yes, you things
Gotta
need
line up.
to be similar at least. It can't be as if it's two different species. You know what I'm saying? So he said that he said his goodbyes to the store and employees and to Yao Ming, got in his car and had to decompress, and then realized that he had parked right next to Yao Ming in his all black Mercedes Sprinter.
I don't know
Cars
what a
that
Sprinter
I don't
is.
even know. Very
What's a Sprinter?
tall. I don't know. Very tall, I would assume. Or the seat goes all the way back, and he
Right.
just lays back like a shower rod that you buy from Home Depot, and then you got to put all the seats back to put in there. He says, of course, he had a driver. Maybe they put Yao just on the roof and strapped him
That's
down.
right. like he's a kayak.
He says, in closing, let me share with you this little bit of strangeness that I have started doing. Josh, in your closing every week, when you list the contributions of everyone, you invariably get to this one person whom I have no idea who he is, because I don't even remember you talking about him. But Amanda always repeats his name.
Joey.
So he has gotten into the habit of saying Joey
Aw.
in tandem with Amanda. Don't ask me why. It brings me joy.
Thanks, because Joey brings me joy, Jeff. Joey is a listener of the podcast, and he is a good friend of ours and his family. And so while we've never had Joey on the podcast, Joey is a fan of the pod. And so I'm just happy. Every time I see Joey in person, I say Joey and give Joey a hug. And his wife and his children are lovely too.
Yeah, he is a big teddy bear of a guy and just the friendliest dude. So
nice.
that's Joey. Everyone should have a Joey in their life.
Yes.
We need to have more Joey in our life.
No one likes to be told what to do.
Now is the time in the show, in the big program where we tell you what to do. Amanda, what should we do?
If you haven't yet, go see Superman.
Oh,
So you took Andrew and Muffy earlier in the week, and then Muffy loved it so much that she really thought I would love it, and she wanted me to go see it with her. So I went to see it with her, I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday, a couple days later, and it was so good. It was just so charming. I had good messages. It made you feel good. The end of it made me cry. The guy who plays Superman is cute. I don't know where he came from. He's got nice dimples. And also, Crypto the dog, CGI, but I still love him. So anyway, I recommend you go see Superman.
This is the reason why we have art, just to make us feel better about the world,
Yes.
to make us feel like there's hope. And none of that is silly. All of that is essential to the human spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And it also doesn't matter that it is a quote-unquote silly cartoon comic book movie. So we look at that these great works of art from history, from Van Gogh and Leonardo da Vinci, and that they're good and they're skillfully made, but also because they're hundreds of years old, we revere them like this is the pinnacle of art. Well, no, bullshit. You know, there's things that are created today that are just as meaningful and contribute to beauty, to society as those things did. It's just that they're new. And for whatever reason, we deem them to not be worthy. That's BS. Art is art. Art that contributes to your sense of well-being and your sense of hope in humanity and in the future. That's good art. That's great art. That is holy art. That is elevated art. I don't care what form it takes.
Well, and also I think if we did a little bit of dive into the history of graphic novels or comic books, I think a lot of these stories are born out of suffering and out of feeling like you have no agency. And so that's therefore the creation of the superhero is to feel like you have some agency. And I would argue that just by expressing, you're taking back some agency.
Yep, love that. All right, so go see that comic book movie.
With the cute dog.
Yeah, and the dimples. All right, Amanda, that's all there is. There is no more. What do you think about that giant conglomeration of kind of random bits?
It was
this week?
random this week, and I'm sorry.
No.
I got a headache going that I've had about 4 days straight, and it's not from decorating. I don't know what it's from, but it's not from decorating. But so I just ramble and moan about the world. So thanks for listening.
Okay, on the back of that, do we have a birthday shout out?
Yes, our good friend Rachel Plant celebrated her birthday this week, and so we are sending happy birthday thoughts across the pond to the north of England to Rachel Plant.
And also, I think that coming up really soon is Joey's birthday.
Joey!
I think I saw that on a calendar somewhere. So happy birthday, Joey. We have our credits, without whom this podcast would not be able to be produced. This week, of course, we talked about the nuclear family, and so let's recognize today's nuclear heroes. Thanks to Antonio, who still won't wear pants in the reactor core, to Matt, who successfully diverted the meltdown, to Leo, who keeps mistaking uranium rods for pool noodles, to Josh Garr, the head of lunchroom safety. He has banned irradiated tuna forever. To Danny Buckets, who installed a basketball hoop above the coolant tanks. To Chicken Tom, who is technically a chicken, but he runs the entire facility scheduling software. To Monique from Germany, our safety compliance officer, who just keeps saying this would never happen in Germany. To refined gay Jeff, who redesigned the hazmat suits into something more chic. To Joey. To Rachel and Mark from HR, who recently added emotional contamination to the incident report forms. And to Dan and Gavin, co-managers of the Nuclear Karaoke Night. And of course, to my love Amanda, our plant's emotional core, who only occasionally melts down.
Oh, thank you. I was going to say, you never thank me in this list. How did you know I was thinking that?
Yeah, well. Until next week, remember, if it glows, don't touch it.
Go be kind.
Bye.
Bye.
That dog's at it again, neurotic vigilance, barking at the postman's left shoe with canine diligence. A phantom menace in every dust speck that floats, this hairy paranoid with dental overbite notes. The wind picks up, he's off his daggum head, barking at the concept of Tuesday instead of lying down like normal dogs should do. He's protesting the color magenta. He apparently also hates blue. Tax returns, microwaves, the neighbors to pay. He's barking at shadows cast by Earl Grey. The doorbell rings. He thinks it's a conspiracy between the cat next door and fancy French pastry. Ballpoint pens drive him up the wall. Abstract paintings, he hates them all. Clouds shaped like Nebraska. Silent documentaries. His endless complaints about modern dentistry. In the dead of night, he'll start without warning, barking at the concept of global warming. I haven't slept right since 2002, thanks to his vendetta against bamboo. So why does my dog bark at the wind and IKEA furniture that needs assembling? And a harsh critic of interpretive ballet. I reckon he's just wired that way. In a world where garden gnomes plot revolution and sock drawers require canine retribution, from quantum physics to leftover curry, real or imagined danger, he's a Karen but furry. He will remain my barking friend. His hatred of jazz bands will never end. The neighborhood thinks we've gone insane with his howling dislike of cellophane.